cha. Yo. Yo, the thing mad. The thing mad. Yo, the man them, they're all over in the Waterford. All over in the Waterford at once. All over.
A few minutes later, this is exactly what transpired.
This just that me no buckland. I'm jump off. I want to him. Jesus Christ. I can't say that. I'm drop. I want him jump out of the bus. Him jump out of the bus. Him not dead.
Que pasa, sakpa, say what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News, where the difference is in the meds. Call it news with a buzz. Now, unless you've been living on a rock, you would not know that the PNP and JLP, they are in the heights of their political campaign for the election, I think, will be held on or about the 26th of February 2024, a couple of days from now. The incident that you just saw, the motorcade that you just saw, is of a PNP motorcade that is said to have taken place in a St. Catherine. Based on information, it is said that there was a young man on one of those buses. His name is Lamar Gray. He was 15-year-old at the time he met his demise less than 24 hours ago. It happened in the Southborough area of St. Catherine, Portmore once again. Based on the PO information, it is said that he was riding on the motorcade on one vehicle, one van, one minibus, when he tried to jump from that minibus onto a next minibus, a next vehicle, while they were in movement. Don't know how fast they were going. However, I thought he felt as if he was some sort of superhero. He was trying to outdo the other persons before him that were epic failure. Now, people, this youth fall off, lick him head. There are videos that are circulating. The voice note that you heard at the first part is of the people crying and mourning over him after he fell. Apparently, he did not lose his life on the scene. However, he was taken to the Spanish Town Hospital and pretty much he was DEAD during the process of trying to resuscitate him. Here is the problem. Mother and father of this little youth, Lamar Gray, told him, listen, don't leave the house. Tan at your yard. Little fool, stay at your yard. He did not listen. He went out there and he acted a fool, and he paid for it fatally with his life. Sad thing is that this youth is 15-year-old. Sad thing is that the mother and fathers and friends, schoolmates, will have to pick up the pieces and go on because of his bad decision-making process. Now this youth is 15, and we've seen adults. We've seen at least 2 instances in which a JLP supporter, she lost her leg. It was pretty much crushed out in some sort of embankment in a St. Thomas. We then saw a next man, him fell off a JLP bus again, lick him head. He was also DEAD. As a matter of fact, the lady that lost her leg, she seems to have no sort of regret. Well, she regrets losing her foot. However, she said that she is a hardcore supporter for the party. So therefore, it seems as if she is willing to give life and limb for the party. So therefore, party over your health, party over your life, it seems. Now, with all of these incidents unfortunately happening back to back, you would have thought that these people would have learned. But like I've said before, wise man or woman learns from his mistake. Wise a man or woman learns from the mistakes of others. It seems as if these people are in the hype, the adrenaline of the motorcade, so therefore they lose all sense and all rational and do all sorts of stupid stuff, putting their life and health in jeopardy for the party. The popo, the politicians, they are coming out and telling the people, listen, do not put yourself in harm's way. Be responsible. Don't be negligent. Well, mostly the popo, because, these politicians, I am not saying that they want their supporters to get hurt or KILLED. However, in the adrenaline and hype and middle of these motorcades, I guess it is a part of the sacrifice for winning. Point blank and period. Further on in the news, this one is called Say That It Isn't Mother Humping So. These criminal elements in a Jamaica are get more brazen. Them are get more off the chain. It seems as if some mad people there in a Jamaica. These are not even criminals. These are mentally RETARDED people, to say the least. I am speaking about an incident that occurred at the Hunts Bay Popo station, where it is said that 19-year-old Melaki Dowie, he is from Olympic Way. Him and the next man went on the roof of the Hunts Bay Popo station at about 12 midnight. How them get up there, I have zero idea. While they were on there, they were noticed by a couple of popo. The popo, them I say, then hold on a minute. Oh, that Spider-Man and Batman or Superman. It is said that the men were accosted by the popo. When they realized that their plans, the popo fling some sorts of monkey wrench in them program, they decided that they were going to FIGHT back, them go wheel and pop off. They made a fatal error, because after the smoke clear, one man was down, the 19-year-old Mr. Melaki Dowie, like I said his name is. The next man escaped, jump off of the roof, take fence, take bush, take for himself. Now, based on what the popo are saying, Mr. Ricketts, is that these men were seen sending down some sorts of contraband from the roof of the popo station to the inmates inside of the station. This officer said that he is perplexed because he not understand how these people so brave, how them so bold, them big bad and bold, that they would actually enter on the premises of a popo station to fulfill their obligation of making sure that their fellow inmates have what they require, meaning weed, meaning Rizla, meaning alcoholic beverages, meaning shank, meaning cell phone, meaning SIM card, meaning charger, meaning all manner of evil that are considered to be contraband. Now people, it tells me that these people have a level of comfort. It's as if them feel as if them get a green light or a hall pass for the popo station to do whatever they so choose. It seems as if somebody in the popo station might just be getting some proceeds of the crimery. So therefore them go and maybe some sorts of random change was made, and not supposed to dede, and eyes that were not supposed to see, the ones that were there to see and blind and hear and deaf, it seems as if they were lapsing in their security or their part of the deal. Me no know for sure, me just I say it kind of sounds suspicious that persons would be so brave. After the smoke clear, it is said that they recovered a Glock 17 and a couple of rounds in the magazine. One man down, one man gone, to come back and do the same thing over and over. Mr. Ricketts, the SSP for the area, said that he has noticed a visible uptick in all sorts of phone, in all sorts of weed, in all sorts of contraband being found in the institution. Now people, you have to ask yourself, there is no way under Master God earth in which a place can be running that laps, meaning all of these popo station where it seems as if all of these prisoners are getting some sorts of get out of jail free. It look like them have some sorts of monopoly board in the station where they just roll the dice, and if them land pan get out of jail, them just leave furlough instantly. People, this just shows you the level of corruption that exists within these institutions that are penal. We are pretty much FUCKED. Point blank and period. Further on in the news, it seems as if Jamaica will never come short of controversy, drama, mix-up and passa with any sorts of incident that occurred on our little island. A couple of days ago, a poor constable, Mr. Spence, lost his life. Based on the information, him and the next man was riding on his bike. They were coming from Tuesday at about the wee hours of the morning. So Tuesday heading on to Wednesday morning. It is said that there was some sorts of crash. The details of that was kind of conflicting. Based on the information, the popo said one man was on the bike, Mr. Spence, that lost his life, only to find out because correctly placed and stop other people from searching after they were warned or told that there was a second individual on the bike. The family members of that individual would find the body swell up maybe about 24 hours after. So therefore there was controversy and drama right there. Now as to the details, there was some sorts of wrecks, meaning mongrel dog involved. Him get licked down. People are say the popo on him bike lost control after him licked the dog. However, details that I am getting about this DAWG is that apparently some young youth in them 20s or so took out their grandfather vehicle, a white Toyota, I think, for some sorts of joyride. It was them that were unlicensed that was driving, lick in at the DAWG, lost control and go over to the side in which the bike man, meaning the officer, was riding along with his pillion. Them lick the dog and then them run in at the man thing. So therefore they are saying that the two youths are the youths that were in that Toyota, white one, was the grandson of some sorts of counselor for Old Harbour. So therefore all sorts of being mum is being kept because them want to make sure that certain people don't get in any sorts of problem. Now here is the thing also, based on information that I am getting, the bike that was being ridden by this popo is unlicensed. Now people, don't you see that as a conflict of interest? Don't you see something that is very wrong with these popo and why it seems as if they are so stern as it pertains to the public about their fitness and their vehicle being in proper working order? However, when you look for them vehicle, light broke out here, so this broke out here, so this dent, all sorts of problem, tire ball. However, they don't see the problem as it applies to them. A lot of these vehicles that are on the road that are owned by popo, including motor vehicle and motorbike, they are not insured. There is no sorts of fitness, there is no sorts of registration, there is no sorts of nothing. However, whenever you buck up in a squaddy and tell him say you're a squaddy, him give the nod. So therefore, that is a controversy and that is the latest as it pertains to that. If anything change, like me say, me never did it, me only tell you what the people must say. Point blank and period. Further on in the news, so there was a very fatality in Trelawney in which 4 young youth in them 20s lost their lives. I will give you the names of those individuals later on in this news. However, I want to let you hear what the popo that was on the scene in charge of the area had to say, giving you details of exactly what transpired, and then I'll give my piece.
So the information that we have gathered is that about 2:15 a.m. today's date, there was a crash along the North Coast Highway in the vicinity, right where it intersects Daniel Town. And what we gather is that a Marquette motorcar was traveling westerly along the North Coast main road. And when it reached to the intersection of North Coast Highway and Daniel Town, the motorcar was approaching in the opposite direction and a crash occurred at the intersection. It appears that it is a crash, it is a turning crash. However, we have not gathered all the evidence surrounding it as yet. Unfortunately though, 4 males who were traveling in the Mark X motor car. They died as a result of the crash because the Mark X motor car on the colliding with the Audi motor car, it was displaced further left, made contact with a guardrail and crashed in an embankment. There was a male and a female reportedly traveling in the Audi motor car. They were injured and were taken to the hospital and are receiving treatment. I must say that this intersection is controlled by traffic lights. So the investigation has to surround how the light itself was working at the time and whether or not any one of the parties were not in conformity with the signal at that particular time. Based on the nature of the crash, it is really what I would say is a high-speed crash. And so it is very important for us to recognize that when we have crashes and persons are traveling at high speed, chances are persons will suffer fatal injuries.
Now, people, that's the Popo speaking, giving the intricate details. The persons that lost their life: 23-year-old fisherman Kimani Thompson, 24-year-old photographer Andre Gonzalez, 25-year-old lifeguard H3AD, he is from Falmouth, Trelawney, 24-year-old Marco Williams of Pimento, that is in Ocherias, St. Anne. They did not give his occupation. The thing is that there's a video of these youths recording while they were driving. It is said that they were coming from some sorts of party in Ocherias, headed towards Trelawney, and that is when they came to that intersection. It is said that the Audi was making a left or a right turn, and that was when there was some sorts of head-on collision. Based on what family members of the driver of that Mark X is saying, the two lights were showing green. Well, people, I don't know if you're going in the opposite direction. Somebody have to yield. Even when you see green or yellow, you still need to yield. However, when you're coming from party, I am assuming that they were drinking, so therefore they might have been under the influence of J-Ray. A nephew cannot substantiate. I am not going to say I doubt it. The thing is that, people, when it comes to these Mark X, and it is not good to stereotype. However, the personnel that I saw in this vehicle did not look like any sorts of fisherman and did not look like any sorts of photographer. Not saying that they are not, me just say. Be very careful. When you live certain lifestyle, not saying that they did live certain lifestyle, you act a certain way. When you're kind of screwed up or lawless in a one way, you're usually lawless on the road. And that is what caused most of the problems in Jamaica. Illegal personnel always doing illegal or reckless stuff. Not saying that this is the case in this case. Not saying that it is not. Accidents do happen, however, sometimes they could have been prevented. Condolences to these youths, their family, their friends, their loved ones. It could have easily been avoided had there not been so much adrenaline rush and then the fact that they were speeding. So therefore, when you come on a red light and you're probably under the influence, probably being the operative word, you're not going to make good decisions. You're going to make fatal decisions. If the Audi was wrong, then we can't blame them because they were speeding. So therefore, if they were going slow and the Audi driver, which them say, make the left or make the right in front of them people, me no know, the whole thing could have easily been avoided had proper heads prevailed. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. And last but not least, please subscribe to my next channel. It is called Jamaica Dancehall Source. I'll be pinning the link to that channel in the description of this video. Bless up.